Pride is a poison that is sweet at the beginning, but deadly at the end. Sultan Bayezid thought he was the thunderbolt, capable of incinerating anyone. But he forgot that for every flame, there is ice from the depths of Asia. Timur. In 1402, two titans collided to decide whose greatness was truth and whose was illusion. This is history of retribution, and today we see how a sultan became a slave in a golden cage. Timur, known in the West as Tamerlane, was not born a king. He forged himself. Lame and scarred, yet possessing a will capable of moving mountains and erasing cities. By the early 14th century, his empire stretched from India to the fringes of Russia. At the other end of the world, Bayezid I built Ottoman power, terrifying all of Europe. He defeated the Crusaders at Nicopolis and believed no one on earth was his equal. The letters they exchanged were full of venom and deadly insults. Bayezid called Timur a dog and a bandit, making his biggest mistake. Timur did not forgive insults. His answer was short: the movement of hundreds of thousands of horses west. Bayezid, confident in his janissaries, moved to meet him, despising his legate's advice. The Battle of Conqueror was meant to be the Sultan's greatest triumph, but it became his grave. Timur used his favorite tactic, exhausting the enemy and using feigned maneuvers. The heat was unbearable, and the water sources were poisoned or captured by Timur. At the crucial moment, Bayezid's allies, the Tartars, defected to Timur right on the battlefield. Betrayal is something Bayezid could not buy, even with his gold. The janissaries stood to the last, defending their sultan in the center of the bloody slaughter. But wave after wave, Timur's riders swept away everything in their path. Bayezid tried to flee, but his horse fell, and he found himself surrounded by enemies. The Thunderbolt Sultan was captured like an ordinary soldier. Retribution had begun. When he was brought to Timur, the lame one was simply playing chess with his son. Timur laughed upon seeing the prisoner. It was the laugh of a man who saw the world's vanity. God does not value this world, as he gave it to a cripple like me and a blind man like you. But even in captivity, Bayezid continued to spew curses, demanding respect for his rank. Then Timur ordered a cage to be made for the Sultan, iron, cramped, and shameful. The Sultan was carried behind Timur's army, exhibited like an exotic beast. They say Timur used his back as a mounting block when getting on his horse. The Sultan's wife was forced to serve Timur at feasts, nearly naked. It was the total destruction of dignity, the worst execution for one who thought himself a god. Bayezid could not withstand the shame. A few months later, he died without seeing freedom. Some say from grief, others that he bashed his head against the bars of his cage. Timur only shrugged. Pride was broken, and the Ottoman Empire plunged into chaos. But why is this lesson so important today? Look at modern empires. The story of Timur and Bayezid is a mirror for everyone who believes in their exceptionalism. Retribution doesn't choose the weak. It prefers those who have climbed the highest. The greater your pride, the tighter your cage will be at the end of the road. Timur wasn't eternal either. He died 3 years later, never reaching China. His empire crumbled as quickly as it was created. but the memory of Bayezid's cage remained through the ages as a symbol of inevitable reckoning. The Ottomans learned the lesson and returned even stronger, but they never again forgot the shadow of the East. We often think we control fate, but fate only waits for the moment to laugh. How often have you seen the powerful of this world fall into the abyss because of a single word? Bayezid the Thunderbolt became Bayezid the Captive because of his tongue. Timur the Iron became Timur the Legendary because he knew how to wait and strike precisely. This is a story about the balance of power and how no one is immune to retribution. The History of Retribution channel urges you to remember your enemies may be closer than you think. Subscribe to know how the great fell and why they deserved it. Write in the comments whose downfall you want to see in the next episode. Was Bayezid a victim of circumstances or the architect of his own collapse? We await your theories. Every opinion is a contribution to our investigation. Timur left behind Gur Emir, a mausoleum where it is written, "Whoever disturbs my peace shall know trouble." And in 1941, his tomb was opened. 2 days later, a war began. Coincidence? Or did the hand of the lame one reach us through the centuries? Retribution has no statute of limitations. It waits for its hour under the slabs of oblivion. Guard your honor and never consider yourself above others. Otherwise, your cage is already waiting for you in the forge of fate. Today, the verdict is delivered. Bayezid, the Thunderbolt, guilty of pride. Timur, the Lame, the instrument of history's justice. Thank you for being with us. See you in the new shadows of the past. The world is more complex than it seems at first glance, and a lesson waits around every corner. Don't forget to like this video. It's our fuel for new research. History isn't about dates, it's about people and their mistakes. Learn from others' cages so as not to end up in your own. We are History of Retribution. We do not forgive oblivion. See you in the next video where another idol will fall. Be vigilant. Fate does not love the overconfident. And remember, Bayezid also thought he was invincible. Until next time, and may your gold not become your cage. End of transmission.